Oh, Elizabeth. Oh, Jesus. Hello. I'm going to put you on speakerphone. We're about to start. Okay, thanks. Can you hear me? There you go. All right, you just say she's here.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the January 2022 Town Board meeting. We've had our swearing in of officers, and we'd like to have a roll call.
Board Member Drake?
Here.
Board Member Niesel? Here. Board Member Steen?
Here.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Here.
Supervisor Viscofani?
Here.
It's awesome minutes, I'm sorry.
We're going to go a little out of sync. We'll do the pledge, and then we're going to do resolution number 1 and get Kevin sworn in. All right. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Resolution 122, resolution filling midterm town board vacancy. Whereas the town board has a midterm vacancy with 2 years remaining in the term and may fill 1 year of the term with the remainder to be filled by special election. Whereas under section 64 of town law, a resolution approved by the majority of the fully constituted town board is required to fill a vacancy. Therefore, be it resolved, Kevin Van Blarkum be appointed for 1 year to fill that vacancy for 2022, and I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Abstain.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just testing you, Kevin. Supervisor Viscofani?
Yes. And right now, I think we're going to go into the swearing in of Kevin so he can fulfill the night.
So the motion is passed, correct?
Motion is passed.
Very good.
Should I come down?
Why don't you stay right there?
Okay.
Please stand. Councilman Van Blarkum, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New York,
of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you for your service to our community, sir.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tom.
I make a motion that we approve December's town board minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move on to the next part of the agenda, the supervisor's financial report. Ulster County sales tax, $46,781.66. Fines and forfeitures, $9,611. Ambulance fees, $17,242.52. Town clerk fees and Easy Pass, $107.20. Police fees, $15. Reimbursement, police contractual, $192.59. Building fees, $4,864. Dog license fees, $31.50. Vital statistics, $20. Rental cell tower, $1,339.76. Rental for the medical building, $600. Reimbursement for the lighting district, $8,518.49. Highway, $320,099.19 for a total of $409,422.91. Communications. Anything, Joyce?
You want to do yours first?
I don't have any
You
communication.
don't want to do that? Your,
Oh, sure, yeah.
yeah, do yours first.
Okay.
Mine.
I'll just say happy New Year and welcome to the 2022 Town Board. To begin, I thank Faye Storms and Pete DeMonica for their many years of dedicated service to Shandaken, as well as Rob Stanley. As you see, Kevin Van Blarkum has been appointed for 1 year to fill the vacancy left by my remaining 2 years on the council. We welcome him to the board and value his experience and dedication. Because of flooding is uppermost concern to the town, we are appointing Rob Stanley as Certified Flood Manager and Community Rating System Coordinator until others complete their certification. I'm also looking into becoming a fire-wise community, as wildfires are also a major concern. I'm requesting NICEAG stay vigilant in keeping the power lines clear of dead trees and limbs. I urge all that are able to join a local fire company. For the next hour or so, we will be appointing and reappointing members to the boards and hiring others to positions to keep the town in good working order. We're still looking to hire a clerk or two and an assessor and a part-time building inspector. Over the next few months, we will be crafting and implementing a short-term rental law, and it is our desire to form a conservation advisory council that will help us navigate and map the town's environmental resources and climate challenges. Form a community electric cooperative, a charging station or more, and anyone interested in volunteering, please contact my office. Any other communications, Joyce?
Well, the other thing, we're still waiting to hear back from Ulster County on when they will offer booster shots here at the town hall and when our next test kits will be distributed. Our office gave out about 900 test kits over the last 2 weeks. I will send out a townwide alert as soon as I have any dates set. If you're not on our alert system, call my office tomorrow at 845-688-5004 and I will add you. It takes about 2 minutes. Big news this week, the DMV bus will be here Friday, the 7th, from 10 to 1 and 2 to 3. They come the first Fridays of every month. That's it.
Committee reports. Ambulance, Rich.
Good evening, and welcome new board members. The December 2021 report for the town of Shandaken Ambulance, total calls received was 47. Mutual aid was given twice to the town of Olive, and mutual aid was received once due to multiple calls in the district. The year 2021 exited not so gracefully, as we had one of our busiest months on record for the town of Shandaken Ambulance. As it has been relatively snowless winter, our calls to Bel Air only totaled 6, while it usually commands far more responses post December 1st. One thing is for certain, call for service volume is increasing. As we usher in the new year, one issue that we intend to closely focus upon is the modification to or construction of an ambulance department building. The town's receipt of American Rescue Plan Act funds, as well as the existing Good Neighbor Fund monies, uniquely position the town to be able to make this infrastructure improvement at little to no cost to the taxpayer and save recurring monthly installment debt. Currently, we rent out a cramped bay from the Phoenicia Fire District to house one ambulance that is located within the floodplain. Our other ambulance, record storage, and administrative office is located in the municipal building at Glenbrook Park. That space is shared with the town police department, causes a myriad of security and access issues for the PD, and is equally as cramped. We provide staff housing at the town's medical arts building on Ave Maria Drive. However, on-duty personnel must drive their personal vehicles to either the Phoenicia building or Shandaken building if an alarm occurs to pick up an ambulance, causing huge liability issues. There is no shelter for emergency vehicles there, exposing our paramedic car to the elements and forcing responders to clear snow from the vehicle prior to responding, delaying responses to potentially life-threatening emergencies. There is sufficient room at the Ave Maria Drive location for an addition of garage space, storage space, and office space that could also serve as an evacuation site outside of the floodplain for town residents in our most populated area of town. In addition, this facility would allow all ambulance vehicles and personnel to be under one roof, cutting liability issues and response times. As a reminder, the ambulance service is the town's only true 24-hour, 7-day-a-week service staffed by 3 town employees around the clock and is the only semblance of emergency care available to our residents. The ambulance service responded to 471 alarms in 2021. All 3 fire departments combined responded to a total of 358 calls in 2021. In regards to COVID, we are in the midst of yet another COVID surge. As of January 3rd, there were 3,157 active cases of COVID in Ulster County. There are 21 active cases in the town of Shandaken at this time. Total cumulative cases in the town since the beginning of the pandemic have reached 195, with 166 recovered. According to county statistics, we still have not had any fatalities. However, we have had a report of a resident passing while they were out of town. Total cumulative cases in the county have reached 26,125, with 323 fatalities. 22,645 have successfully recovered. Stay safe out there, and please wear a mask. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich.
We don't have anybody here from building or zoning. Chad?
So for December, our calls for the month, all 3 citations, 648.
Can you talk to the microphone the whole morning, can't hear you? I'm sorry. We got a new microphone that actually works too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. So for December, our report is 648 police incidents were handled by the department. And year-wide for 2021, 10,637 with 61 arrests. And welcome new town board members, and looking forward to a good 2022.
Thank you, Chad. We hear from Phoenicia Water or Pine Hill Water Museum.
Museum, Director's Report for the Shandaken Historical Museum, December 2021. The museum had 49 visitors and continues with COVID-19 protocols. The Big Indian Native American group had a gathering here on the 11th, complete with talking circle and drumming. Everyone was thrilled at our repairs and to be able to see each other after such a long time. Vinnie Sorbellini has continued repairs and will soon be finished until spring when he can continue with the railings. The historical posts are creating numerous questions about our history and requests for more information. I am doing my best to keep up. Evan Pritchard, the knowledgeable Native American speaker, has been doing research here for an upcoming event with the Phoenicia Library. We will continue preserving and sharing our history into the new year. May 2022, bring a positive change for us all. Staying Shandaken strong, Kathleen Myers, Director Historian.
Thank you.
Parks and Rec didn't make the agenda.
Okay. Yeah, where is that?
Yeah. Parks and Rec, there's nothing big going on. The Highway Department was able to do pretty considerable landscaping to the dog park to fill in under the fence, which is great, so thank you, Eric. And then moving forward to spring.
Are there any public comments on resolutions, our upcoming resolutions? Yes, Tina, how are you?
Do I need to come up there or am I loud enough?
You're allowed to.
Okay. So I have a few questions. First is, this morning when I went on the town site, there were different resolutions. And tonight, I just would like to some clarification on some. Am I correct, or is it a typo that you're not adding Rob Stanley to the police commission?
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if that was a typo or what that was.
it wasn't a typo. I just decided that 3 people were enough. I will put him on the next add-on unless we want to add 5. I just think an even number is kind of weird. With boards and committees, it should be an odd number if they're going to vote on something. And
Can I just say something quick about that, Peter?
absolutely.
Yes, you're 100% right. 4 is kind of a weird number, especially when they're voting on things, committee-wise. And then per our police reform commission last year, one of the things where we are going for, it was recommended that we expand our police commission to at least 5. But I wasn't going to do that until the new town board received it.
Right, right.
So that's fine.
My next question
Yes.
is resolution number 19. We are in the middle of a pandemic. Do you think it appropriate to cut our chief of police and our ambulance chief?
To do what? Cut them?
Cut, yes. So here is the budget that 3 of you voted on
Yeah.
last month, November. What's in the budget is not what you have listed tonight.
True. And you know, I talked with the board members about that.
Okay,
If
but
they
we're
don't
the
agree
public,
with me,
the public is asking a question.
absolutely, absolutely. It wasn't, it's cut from the budget, but it isn't their salaries cut. They're still in addition to their salary, over 4%.
What does that mean? There are numbers here.
Of
in
course,
the
of
budget.
course. There are always
What is that?
numbers in the budget.
No, no, Peter. The
Yes,
numbers that are
Tina.
here should match the numbers that you have in tonight's resolution. Why do they not? That's it?
They're really.
That's your answer from the news
No, it's, you know, here it is that I feel that some positions our town board members are at a set salary, and they have been for 12 years. Other people, like, I guess the officers in the ambulance that make a $5,000 stipend, they've been the same price for 15 years now. I'm not saying that it's not always that they're not going to get an increase, and they did get an increase. It just wasn't the almost 7% that was in the budget. It was over 4%.
That's not an answer to my question.
Can I say something?
Here, you voted. You brought up none of these things.
No,
when
and
you
it
were
wasn't.
voting for the
It wasn't
budget.
up for discussion. It wasn't. It wasn't. It didn't warrant a discussion. I didn't think about it then. It wasn't an issue then. I'm just concerned with the budget. So I'm looking for ways
And
to save money.
That's who you decide to cut? Our
They're not
first
cut. They are not
responders?
cut. They are not
Peter,
cut.
I'm blind and I can add.
Okay.
The numbers that you have out tonight are not what's in the budget.
An approved budget is not an approved salary. While the budget has been approved, the salary approval is the purpose of this meeting. A budget is not a salary.
No.
A budget is not a salary.
What's in the budget is,
There is an approved amount, but that is not an approved salary, which is the purpose of this board and this meeting.
Rich had his hand up.
no,
There is a difference between those two. There has to be.
no, there's not. The numbers in the budget should match the numbers on the resolution tonight.
That's not, again, the amount in a budget does not equal the amount of an approved salary. And the budget was done by the last board, and the salary is done by this board.
Can we
Three
let Rich speak?
members that are sitting up there now,
Mrs. Rice, can Rich speak, please?
please, by all means.
I appreciate you bringing it up. I believe that the town board and the individuals that are affected, myself and Chief Story, will be having negotiations with the town in regards to.
That's not what this is about.
Okay.
That's absolutely not what
Right,
this is
so I
about.
just wanted to
This is
clarify.
about the town people asking the question. Robert, let me explain. When it says chief of police, 23,500, and a resolution tonight says 23,000, what's the problem there? Why does it not say the same thing?
I mean, in fact, that is, again, there is an approved budget, which was, of course, done by the prior board, and there are approved salaries, as there have been in every reorganization meeting. I mean, it's hardly those are the only salaries that are being approved.
They've never been changed. Nope.
That may very well be tradition.
You go back and look.
Well, I don't dispute that. That may very well be the standard practice, but there is no requirement. Again, there is a difference between a budget and an approved salary. Hence why we have a reorganization meeting, hence where we have these resolutions. If the budget was, if that approval established the salary, then half of these resolutions would not be required today.
No, because all the other numbers coincide with the budget.
Again, why is there two different things then? Because there is the capacity for them to be different.
No, no.
Yes.
And for what it's worth, Tina, just because those numbers were lowered and they're still getting a raise, we needed to compensate, for instance, Rob coming on as floodplain administrator and being compensated. We need to compensate for the building department being evened out. The money didn't go away, it was reallocated.
Yes, but why from our first responders? There's no money to take anywhere else?
Like
It has to come from first
Like Chief
responders?
Muller-Liley said, it's been hashed out amongst the board and it's been hashed out amongst the employees.
And that's fine, but this is the public. I'm John Q. Public.
Yeah.
And I have a question.
Yeah.
And I expect an answer.
I gave you an answer.
I answered, Robert answered.
But see, Peter, that's the problem. And I think you're gonna have to work on this.
Thank you, Tina.
Is that he's not always gonna be able to answer the
Thank you,
question
Tina.
for you. Okay?
Okay,
And this is, you asked for comments, right, from the public?
thank you.
You can't shut me down. I have a right to ask my questions.
No way would I.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's still not answering.
All right. Anyone else have a question on, or a comment on those resolutions? If not, we'll start. Robert, why don't you start with one?
Yeah. Got the long one.
That's the one.
Is that hazing?
Put the mic down a little tiny bit. You're very good. Tiny
Mike.
bit on the side.
Turn your mic down.
Yeah.
Is there-
Push it away.
Resolution 2-22, Rules of Procedure. Good on volume. Whereas Section 63 of New York... I'm sorry?
Can you hear me? Are you there, Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Whereas Section 63 of New York State Town Law provides that the town board may determine the rules of its procedures. Therefore, be it resolved that the following rules of procedure for regular town board meetings be adopted. The town supervisor, as chairman of the town board, shall call meetings of the town board to order and shall be the presiding officer or chair of the meeting, and as such shall officiate, maintain order and decorum, and permit public participation in an orderly manner in accordance with the rules stated below. 1. Pledge. Call to order shall be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. 2. Roll call. The chair shall request roll call of the town board members by the town clerk, and after determining that a quorum exists, the town supervisor shall declare the meeting open. The town supervisor shall read the agenda, if not already published and distributed, and proceed to the business of the town board at hand. 3. Minutes. At each meeting following the new town board's January special organizational meeting, the chair shall provide opportunity for the town board to review the minutes of the previous meeting of the town board. Thereafter, the chair shall entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented or to amend. 4. Correspondence. The chair shall first call for acknowledgement and summary of any petitions or written communications received by the town board. Copies shall be given to the town clerk for recording into the minutes. 5. Committee reports. The chair shall recognize committee chairmen for their committee's report. 6. Public participation. The public will be invited to comment as requested on items appearing on the published agenda, expressing any views, opinions, requests, recommendations, or questions to the board to address and or take under advisement in its deliberations. A maximum time limit of 30 minutes. The public is requested to be brief with their comments. 7. Conduct new business. A. The supervisor's fiscal report shall be the first order of new business. It shall set forth public monies received through the town clerk's office and other sources, and the disbursement of public monies. The chair shall entertain motions to approve the supervisor's fiscal report and to approve all necessary disbursements of public monies through authorized fund accounts. All actions of the town board concerning the supervisor's fiscal report shall be by motion. B. Resolutions. For its deliberations on new matters of town business, the board will work from the written agenda distributed to board members in advance, posted on the town bulletin board, and distributed at board meetings to public. Formal actions of the town board must be authorized by motion or resolution of the town board. No motion or resolution shall be brought to a vote unless it has been presented to all members of the town board at least 48 hours prior to the opening of the meeting and on the town website. In emergency circumstances, however, all of the above requirements may be waived by a vote of the majority of town board present, provided there is a quorum. C. Every motion or resolution must be seconded before discussion of the town board or the supervisor calls for a vote. All motions and resolutions shall be recorded in their entirety in the minutes of the town board meeting. As a member of the town board, the supervisor may offer or second motions and resolutions. D, town board members must recuse themselves from participation in discussion or voting on matters that involve a conflict of interest and must place in the minutes their reasons for recusal. Abstention from a vote shall only be permitted for reasons of conflict of interest and not for political considerations. 8, public participation. The board recognizes the value of public participation, but reminds the public that it is a privilege. Please address the board with respect and civility. 9, adjournment. Following resolutions and open agenda period, the town board meeting shall be adjourned by motion in memory of residents deceased. If the above rules or procedures shall at any time be in conflict with statutory law, then statutory law prevails, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake.
Yes.
Board Member Niesel. Board Member Niesel? Hello? Uh-oh.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Got me? Okay.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 322, meeting dates. Whereas under section 62 of the town law, the town board should adopt a resolution determining the time and place it shall hold its regular meeting. Therefore, be it resolved, the regular meetings of the town board be held the first Monday of the month, unless noted, in the town hall of Shandaken, New York, on the following dates during the year: January 3rd at 6 p.m., February 7th at 7 p.m., March 7th, 7 p.m., April 4th, 7 p.m., May 2nd, 7 p.m., June 6th, 7 p.m., July 11th, 7 p.m., second Monday, August 1st, 7 p.m., September 12th, 7 p.m., second Monday, October 3rd, 7 p.m., November 9th is usually 6 p.m., Wednesday, and then December 5th, 7 p.m. Move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes. Resolution 422, Town Depository. Whereas under Section 64, Subdivision 1 of Town Law, the Town Board should adopt a resolution designating a bank or banks or trust company in which all town officials shall deposit monies coming into their hands by virtue of their office. Therefore, be it resolved, Key Bank of New York and Community Bank N.A. be and hereby are designated as depositories for the town of Shandaken. Be it further resolved that Supervisor DeScalani and Deputy Supervisor Van Blarkum are signatory to those accounts. And I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution number 522, official newspaper. Whereas under Section 64, Subdivision 11 of the Town Law, the Town Board should adopt a resolution designating the official newspaper of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that the Daily Freeman be and hereby is the official newspaper for the town of Shandaken, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 6-22, mileage allowance. Whereas under Section 12, Notes of Decision 32 of the Town Law, a town officer is entitled to be paid a mileage allowance fixed by the town board. Therefore, be it resolved that all town officers and employees be paid the IRS mileage rate of 57.5 cents per mile when discharging their duties, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel? Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 722, expenses for the Association of Towns annual meeting. Whereas under Section 102, Notes of Decision 10 of the Town Law, towns may incur obligations for compensation of town officers. Therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board hereby authorizes the payment of expenses incurred to all town officers attending the annual meeting of the Association of Towns in an amount not to exceed $1,000 each, with $200 in advance, with all expenses to be supported by voucher and receipts. And be it further resolved that in the case of the Zoning Board of Appeals and the Planning Board, a maximum of 3 will be allowed to attend, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes. Resolution
Number
820.
6.
That's number 7.
Resolution 822. American
8. Sorry.
American Legion and Veterans of Foreign War Program for the Aging, Senior Nutrition Program, and Food Pantry. Whereas the annual budget approved by the town board provides monies for patriotic observances, civil and veterans organizations, and whereas it has been procedure to pay this money to the American Legion and Veterans for the War, and $2,500 allocated to each of these purposes, and therefore be it resolved that the sum of $2,000 be and hereby is appropriated for the programming for the aging, and therefore be it resolved that the sum of $2,500 be hereby is appropriated for the senior nutrition program, and yet it be further resolved that the sum of $2,500 be appropriated for the Shandaken food pantry, and I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution number 922, attorneys and auditor for the town. Whereas the town board may, pursuant to town law section 20, subdivision 25, employ an attorney to give it such professional service and legal counsel, therefore be it resolved that the supervisor be empowered to utilize the services of Keller, and Javen as general counsel to the town board, Greenwald and Dougherty LLP as labor counsel, and Jacobowitz and Gubitz LLP as zoning and planning counsel, and be it further resolved that the firm of Sickler, Torchia, Allen, and Churchill be and hereby is reappointed town auditors and accountants at an allowance up to $20,000 as allocated in the 2022 budget, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 10-22, elected official salaries. Whereas under Section 27 of the town law, the town board shall fix the salaries and expenses of elective officials for the town. Therefore, be it resolved that the annual salaries of said officers be and hereby are fixed and determined for the year 2022 and shall be as follows. Supervisor Peter DeScalani, $39,500. Councilman Robert Drake, $9,000. Councilperson Elizabeth Neisel, $9,000. Councilperson Kyle Steen, $9,000. Councilperson Kevin Van Blarkum, $9,000. Highway Superintendent Eric Hoffmeister, $53,000. Clerk/collector Joyce Grant, $39,500. Assessor/chairman Grace Grant, $39,500. Assessor Dave Channon, $57.50. Assessor Stephen Neville, $57.50. Justice Tom Crusade, $19,500. Justice Michael Miranda, $19,500, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
I get this one every
I guess I'll do this.
time. Okay. Yeah, either way. I did it. Yeah.
Deputy Supervisor, whereas under Section 42 of the town law, the town board may create the post of Deputy Supervisor. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board approve the appointment of Kevin Van Blarkum to act as Deputy Supervisor in the absence of the supervisor without compensation. I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes, because there's no compensation.
Yeah, there you go. Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 1222, Supervisor's Clerk and Secretary/Bookkeeper. Whereas under Section 29, subsection 15 of the town law, the town board may authorize the supervisor to make a designation for the position of full-time clerk to the supervisor. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board approve the appointment of Barbara Twardak to serve at the pleasure of the supervisor and receive $16 per hour when discharging the duties of said office, not to exceed $29,120. And be it further resolved that the town board approve the reappointment of Amy Goodrich to serve at the pleasure of the supervisor and receive $15 per hour when discharging the duties of said office, not to exceed $21,500, and move its adoption.
Second.
I'll fix Barbara's name. Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Am I doing this one? Okay, just making sure. Resolution number 1322, Secretary and Deputy to the Highway Superintendent. Whereas under Section 20, notes of Decision 9 of the town law, the town board shall appoint all employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Highway Superintendent, that Kara Grant be reappointed to serve as Secretary to the Highway Superintendent and to serve at his pleasure. and to be paid $16 per hour when performing the duties of said office, not to exceed $29,250 for the fiscal year 2022. And be it further resolved that Kenneth Berrien Jr. is reappointed to the position of Deputy Highway Superintendent without compensation, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 14-22, Town Clerk, Tax Collector's Deputies, and Information Officer. Whereas under Section 30, Subdivision 10 of the Town Law, the Town Clerk determines the designation of deputies. The Town Board shall determine by resolution the powers and duties of such deputies and whether or not such deputies shall be compensated by the town. Therefore, be it resolved that the town reappoint Jacqueline Gigliometti as full-time Deputy Town Clerk / Tax Collector and be paid $18 per hour, not to exceed $32,800, and to perform the duties of the Town Clerk / Tax Collector in her absence. Be it further resolved that Patricia Hines be reappointed as part-time Deputy Town Clerk / Tax Collector, be paid $17.50 per hour, not to exceed $12,750, and to perform the duties of the Town Clerk / Tax Collector in her absence. Therefore, be it yet further resolved that Joyce Grant be and hereby be reappointed Records Management Officer and Public Information Officer, which includes management of town website, town Facebook page, town emergency alert system, and public access channel 23 through Spectrum Cable, and hold office at the pleasure of the town board and receive no compensation for the discharge of said duties, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 1522, Chairman of the Board of Assessors. Whereas under Section 22B of the Town Law, the Town Board should designate the appointed officers and employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that Grace Grant be appointed Chairman of the Board of Assessors for the town of Shandaken and receive an annual salary of $39,500, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes. Resolution 1622, Assessors Board of Review. Whereas under Section 20 of Town Law, Notes and Decision 9, the Town Board should designate all appointed officers and employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that James Amenta is hereby appointed to the Assessors Board of Review. And I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution number 1722, Justice Court Clerk. Whereas under Section 20 of the Town Law, Notes of Decision 9, the town Board should designate all appointed officers and employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that Wendy Helm be reappointed as Clerk of the Justice Court to assist in the clerical duties of the Town Justice Court and be paid an annual salary not to exceed $31,000 while discharging the duties of said office, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 18-22, Police Commission. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the Town Law, it is the duty of the Town Board to appoint all boards and commissions. Therefore, be it resolved that Theodore R. Byron, William Lundberg, and William J. McGrath be reappointed to the Police Commission for the year 2022, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 1922, Town Police and Ambulance Department Chief. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the Town Law, the Town Board should designate all appointed officers and employees of the town, and therefore be it resolved that Chad Story be and hereby is reappointed Police Chief for the Town of Shandaken Police Department and receive an annual salary not to exceed $23,000 while discharging the duties of said office, and be it further resolved Richard Muller-Liley is reappointed Ambulance Chief at $21,000 while discharging the duties of said office, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes. Resolution 2022, Ambulance Officers and Pay Rate. Whereas under Section 20 of Town Law, the Town Board shall designate all appointed officers and employees of the town. Whereas in order to address the increased New York State minimum wage laws, which exceed existing rates for employees and address the current contract, therefore be it resolved that the following personnel be appointed to the Town of Shandaken Ambulance at rates not to exceed the following: Deputy Ambulance Chief James Connington at $5,000 per year, Equipment Manager Dennis Frano at $5,000 per year, Line Officer Ernie Longy Sr. at $5,000 per year, and that is provided under contract, and said employee shall serve at the discretion of the ambulance chief and town board. Be it further resolved that the following pay rates shall apply for individuals in each class plus longevity pay: ambulance drivers at $13.25 per hour, ambulance technician at $14.25 per hour, ambulance paramedic at $21.50 per hour, and I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution number 2122, Superintendent, Billing Clerk, and Committee of Phoenicia Water District. Whereas under Section 20 of the Town Law, the Town Board shall designate all appointed officers and employees of the town, and therefore be it resolved that Richard Riccadella hereby is reappointed Superintendent of Phoenicia Water District and hold office at the pleasure of the Town Board and receive an annual salary not to exceed $24,500 to be dispersed once each month, and expenses as allotted for fiscal year 2022 budget as pursuant to law, while discharging the duties of said office. And be it further resolved that the Town Board, upon the recommendation of the Water Superintendent, hire laborers as the Water Superintendent deems necessary within budget constraints. And be it yet further resolved that Amy Goodrich be and hereby is appointed clerk for the Phoenicia Water District and be paid $15 hourly, not to exceed $5,000, while discharging said duties. Be it yet further resolved that Alfred Peavy, John Kilb, Don Butcher, and Nick Formont be appointed to the Phoenicia Water Committee, and Alfred Peavy as chair, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 22-22, Superintendent, Billing Clerk, and Pine Hill Water Committee. Whereas under Section 20 of the Town Law, the Town Board should designate all appointed officers and employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that Ethan Bernstein be and hereby is reappointed Superintendent of the Pine Hill Water District and hold office at the pleasure of the Town Board and receive an annual salary of $25,500 to be dispersed once each month, and expenses as allotted in the 2022 budget as pursuant to law, while discharging the duties of his office. And be it further resolved that the Town Board, upon recommendation of the Water and Superintendent, hire laborers as the Water and Superintendent deems necessary within budget constraints. And be it yet further resolved that Amy Goodrich be and hereby is appointed clerk for the Phoenicia Pine Hill Water District and be paid $15 hourly, not to exceed $5,000, while discharging said duties. And be it yet further resolved that Peter DeModica, Lowell Smith, and Michelle Wooten be appointed to the Pine Hill Water Committee for 2022. And be it further resolved that Michelle Wooten chair this committee, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 2322, Planning Board Member. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the Town Law, it is the duty of the Town Board to appoint all boards and commissions. Therefore, be it resolved that Sam Spada be reappointed to the Shandaken Planning Board with his term to expire in December 31st, 2028. Woof. And move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes. Resolution 2422, resolution appointing chair and vice chair for the planning board. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the Town Law, it is the duty of the town to appoint all boards and commissions. Therefore, be it resolved that Clifton Rebufo be reappointed as chair of the planning board and Art Christie be reappointed as vice chair of the planning board, and I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution number 2522, Zoning Board of Appeals member. Whereas pursuant of Section 20 of the Town Law, it is the duty of the Town Board to appoint all boards and commissions. Therefore, be it resolved that Christian Lynch be appointed to the Zoning Board of Appeals with his term to expire on December 31st, 2026. and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 26-22, resolution appointing chair and vice chair to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the Town Law, it is the duty of the Town Board to appoint all boards and commissions. Therefore, be it resolved that Mark Lodi be reappointed as chair and Gary Guglielmetti be reappointed as vice chair of the Zoning Board of Appeals, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 2722, resolution appointing of code enforcement officers, building inspectors, certified floodplain manager, and coordinator for the community rating system. Whereas pursuant to the town law, section 20 and section 138, pursuant to sections 116 through 63, 116, 64, and 7711 of the code of the town of Shandaken, the building zoning department is responsible for oversight of all construction projects which meet the criteria for the building permit within the town of Shandaken, and ensure any remodeling, additions, or new structures must meet federal and state and local building safety standards, including structural, plumbing, electrical, UL inspector, fire prevention, flood mitigation, and to perform multiple inspections throughout the project from initiation to issuance of the certificate of occupancy or compliance. And whereas the Town of Shandaken Code Enforcement Officer, CEO, is responsible for the enforcement of zoning, use, area, property, etc., local zoning code ordinances, permits, certificates, and rules and regulations. And whereas Town of Shandaken Floodplain Manager, CFM, is responsible for implementing the community's local floodplain ordinance and ensuring that the community is complying with minimum NFIP standards and enforcing any locally imposed higher standards. Therefore, be it resolved that Bill Weissman be appointed as Code Enforcement Officer to be paid $20 per hour, 35 hours a week, not to exceed $35,000, and mileage while on town business, while dispensing the duties of said office. Be it further resolved that Sarah Pellizzari be appointed as Building/Zoning Department Head and Code Enforcement Officer to be paid $20 per hour, not to exceed $35,000, and mileage while on town business, while dispensing the duties of said office. And be it yet further resolved that Robert A. Stanley be appointed Certified Flood Manager, CFM, and Coordinator for the Community Rating System, CRS, and to be paid an annual salary not to exceed $8,150, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes. Resolution 2822, resolution appointing Parks and Recreation Board member. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of Town Law, it is the duty of the Town Board to appoint all boards and commissions. Therefore, be it resolved that Jesse Hooker and AC and John Michelotti be reappointed park managers for Smith Park, Pine Hill, and Big Indian Parks respectively, their terms to expire on December 31st, 2025, and that all shall serve without compensation at the pleasure of the Town Board, and I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution number 2922, Town Historian, Town Historical Museum Board, and Museum Director. Whereas under Section 20 of the Town Law, the Town Board should designate all appointed officers and employees of the town, and the Town Board wishes to appoint a Town Historian, and whereas the Town Board also recognizes the Town of Shandaken Historical Museum maintains a Board of Directors. Therefore, be it resolved that Kathleen Myers be appointed Historian for the Town of Shandaken without compensation while performing the duties of said office, and be it further resolved that William Andrews, Richard DeAyers, Tikva Fishang, Robert Kalb, and Mary Lou Stapleton are hereby recognized as being the Town of Shandaken Historical Museum Board, with Mary Lou Stapleton being the chair and Robert Kalb being vice chair of the board. And be it yet further resolved that Kathleen Myers be reappointed as museum director, and that she receive $13.50 hourly, not to exceed $17,000, while dispensing duties of said office, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 30-22, Ethics Committee. Whereas pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Code of the Town of Shandaken, Article 3, Section 20-7, Establishment of a Board of Ethics. Therefore, be it resolved that Richard Lovelace, Helen Morelli, and Chad Story be reappointed as the Ethics Committee for the Town of Shandaken, and to serve at the pleasure of the Town Board and follow Chapter 20 of the Code of the Town of Shandaken, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 3122, Dog Control Officer and Dog Enumerator. Whereas under Section 20 of the Town Law, the Town Board should designate all appointed officers and employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that Nancy Hudler be hereby reappointed Dog Control Officer and Enumerator and shall receive an annual salary not to exceed of $12,350. And Tom Ronaldo be hereby reappointed Assistant Dog Control Officer and shall receive an annual wage of $5,850 and contractual expenses of $3,750 for expenses incurred pursuant to law contained within the budget when discharging the duties of said office at the pleasure of the board, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes. Resolution 3222, recycling attendant and municipal worker. Pursuant to Section 20 of Town Law, it is the duty of the Town Board to appoint all employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that Robert Gasparini be reappointed as municipal worker for the town of Shandaken at $13.25 per hour, not to exceed $13,800 while dispensing duties of said office. Be it further resolved that Joe Rotella Jr. be reappointed as recycling attendant and be paid $13.25 an hour, not to exceed $10,500 while dispensing duties of said office, and I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution number 3322, Social Services Officer. Whereas, under Municipal Affairs, the State Comptroller, Section 71-1098, grants the Town Board the right to authorize someone to act as Town Social Services Officer. Therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board approves Supervisor DeScalani to act as Social Services Officer to be paid no compensation and be allowed expense money in the amount of $300 for expenses incurred pursuant to law when discharging the duties of said office, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 34-22, Director of Civil Defense. Whereas under Section 20 of the Town Law, the Town Board should designate all appointed officers and employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that Theodore Byron Jr. be appointed as Director of Civil Defense for the town of Shandaken with no compensation, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 3522, resolution appointing Catskill Collaborative members. Whereas the town of Shandaken is a member community of the Central Catskills Collaborative, which includes the municipalities of Andes, Fleischmanns, Margaretville, Middletown, and Olive. And whereas the town is requested to annually appoint 2 standing members and 1 alternative to the collaborative, therefore be it resolved that the town of Shandaken Town Board hereby appoints Town Board member Robert Drake and resident Amy Bristol as the standing representatives, and a Town Planning ZBA or Parks Board member, Kevin Van Blarkum, as the alternate member for the town of Shandaken on the Catskill Collaborative Committee, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
There's no compensation, right, so I'm not.
You're fine.
Right.
Yeah.
So you-
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes. Resolution 3622, advance payment of utility bills. Whereas under Section 118, Notes of Decision 2 of the Town Law, Town Board may authorize payment of public utility services in advance of audit of claims. Therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board authorizes the supervisor to pay said bills in advance of audit of claims. And I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes. Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes,
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution number 3722, resolution to pay all bills. Whereas the Department of Audit and Control require town boards to sign and inspect all vouchers coming into the town for payment to number and total amounts from each fund. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board authorize the following vouchers paid. General, $81,365.73. Highway, $229,896.18. Phoenicia Water, $6,855.05. Pine Hill Water, $44.25. Phoenicia Lights, $8,518.49. Pine Hill Lights, $25.12. Shandaken Septic, $106,600 for a grand total of $433,304.82, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Larkin?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 38-22, resolution supporting Governor Hochul not requiring renewal of exemption applications. Whereas Governor Hochul issued an executive order number 11.1 allowing municipalities to pass a resolution that allows everyone receiving a senior with limited income or disability with limited income exemption to not have to renew applications for 2022. Whereas our assessor feels that this is in the best interest of our senior and disabled residents, keeping them home as much as possible being a huge part of keeping them well during the pandemic. Therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Shandaken, in accordance with Real Property Tax Law Section 459-C and 467, hereby directs the assessor to grant exceptions pursuant to such section on the 2022 assessment roll to all property owners who received that exemption on the 2021 assessment roll, thereby dispensing with the need for renewal applications from such persons, and further dispensing with the requirement for assessors to mail renewal applications to such person. Be it further resolved, the assessor may require a renewal application to be filed when she has reason to believe that an owner who qualified for the exemption on the 2021 assessment roll may have since changed his or her primary residence, added another owner to the deed, transferred the property to a new owner, or died, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Larkin?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes.
Resolution 39-22, resolution regarding town police officers. Whereas the town of Shandaken is a town of the second class, and whereas there is a town police department, whereas the town board is accepting the resignation of part-time officer Kyle Hassett, and whereas an officer has been recommended by the police commissioners to be hired part-time, therefore be it resolved that pursuant to town law of the state of New York, section 21B, the town board hereby appoints the following individuals as part-time officers to receive compensation as indicated for officers completing training academy. Individual remains responsible for associated costs of said training and education. Name, Joe Comito, compensation at $21.94 per hour. And that said police officers shall have all the powers conferred upon police officers by the general laws of the state of New York, including but not limited to, and such powers not inconsistent with law, as are hereinafter set forth. And that said police officers shall have all powers designated in section 2.20 of the criminal procedure law of the state of New York, and shall have the following special duties. 1. To enforce all local laws, ordinances, and regulations of the town of Shandaken. 2. To enforce the vehicle and traffic law of the state of New York to the extent that police officers may be so permitted by general laws of the state of New York. 3. To enforce such penal statutes as police officers are permitted to enforce pursuant to the general laws of the state of New York, and in furtherance of said special duties, police officers are hereby authorized to use a town vehicle to be known as a police officer's vehicle, which may be equipped with emergency lights in accordance with the applicable sections of the vehicle and traffic law, and may use the state and county radio to the extent permitted by the general laws of the state of New York, and may carry firearms while on duty in compliance with the general laws of the state of New York pertaining to police officers generally, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
Yes.
Board Member Steen?
Yes.
Board Member Van Larkin?
Yes.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Yes. Last resolution.
Yay.
Yay. Resolution 4022, public hearing date for land acquisition from the Nature Conservancy. Whereas the Nature Conservancy, TNC, is a not-for-profit that aims to aid areas that are high risk for flooding events. And whereas the TNC has identified the Upper Esopus, particularly the Route 47 corridor, as a high-risk area. And whereas TNC is in the process of purchasing a property at 674 Frost Valley Road, Big Indian, New York, 12410, SBL number 12.18-1-11, and wish to gift it to the town of Shandaken at no cost to the town. And whereas public hearing will be held in order for the neighbors to voice any and all questions or concerns, therefore be it resolved that the public hearing will be held on February 7th, 2022 at 6:45 p.m. prior to the regular town board meeting, and I move its adoption.
Second.
Elizabeth, did you get a copy of this resolution?
I did not. I'm afraid I couldn't hear any of it.
Okay, so I'll read it for you. This was set later on when I got it. Public hearing, oh geez.
From the land?
Yes, the land acquisition.
Okay, I did see that one, yes.
Okay, that's the one. And who seconded it?
I did.
You did? Okay. So you ready to vote on it?
Yes,
Okay. Board Member Drake?
Yes.
Board Member Niesel?
yes.
Board Member Steens?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarken?
Yes.
Supervisor DeSantis?
Yes. All right. Moving on to public comments. Open public comment. Anyone have anything they want to talk about? Sir?
Can you please use the microphone, please?
Okay.
And state your name and where you live?
Yeah, I'm Joseph Serp. I'm the business owner in Pine Hill.
Yes, how are you?
And good, thank you. I just want to ask you one thing about the burned down building. Did anybody check for asbestos?
Nobody did check for asbestos that I'm aware of, but I will check with the building department. I believe
Don't you think,
Howie
can you
McGowan
stop right now?
was here and said that they looked and did not see any asbestos.
Okay, did anybody went in and checked? What is it, like 8
Not to my
months now?
knowledge.
And
I don't think so.
nobody went there?
No.
Okay.
Howie was there the day it burnt down. You have to check, the building
So
inspector.
is there
has
any
it.
report that there is no asbestos?
We'd have to wait for Sarah to be back to know.
Okay, so what's gonna happen with that building? Any clean outs or any progress?
You know, I'm waiting to speak with the Catskill Watershed Corporation. We're looking at a stormwater retrofit. We've been looking at that, obviously, for over 10 years.
You're not answering my question.
I'm sorry.
He's getting around now.
What's gonna happen with that building? It's gonna get clean out or?
It's going to get cleaned out, yes.
When? Is there any plan or, you know?
You know, it's my first day, so.
But you're sitting on the board.
I am
All
sitting
that-
on the board.
So
That's right.
Previous board didn't plan anything?
But true. Now, I will look into it tomorrow when I talk to Sarah, and we will find out, we will set up a timeline when it will get cleaned out. But I'm waiting for other information from CWC. It isn't something that we can't do, but I would like more information before I move forward.
Okay, thank you. And there's the second thing, that pavement you did on the Main Street, partial pavement, it's almost gone.
It wasn't pavement, it was just patching the holes, that's all it was, to keep the people from tripping.
But it's falling apart already.
It wasn't meant to be a pavement.
So why did we waste the money to do it?
It was meant to fill the potholes, that's it.
The potholes were on the other side.
Yeah, they were right where they paved. They were
You
right
know.
where the routes out in 20-year place.
I don't think so.
They do think so, I've seen them, I was there.
Okay, so why did you pave the potholes were on the Ralph Stanley's and Pioneer Arms? Why did you pave all that top? It's falling apart, it's a waste of the money.
It's a skin, it's not a waste of money, because by the time we go by that coal patch, which is 3 times, let me finish.
Okay,
It's 3 times more expensive. By the time we send guys up there, we put a coal patch in the holes, when it rains hard, coal patch comes out. We gotta send them back again. We do that all winter, that was cheap.
yeah, the cheaper doesn't mean that it's good water. Did you go up there lately?
Yes, I do, I go up there all the time. I drive
So do you
around
see
all-
how that thing looks now?
Yeah,
It's falling apart.
yeah, the whole thing, town needs a stormwater.
So you're telling me
Needs
that
to be built.
the work you
Sidewalks,
did, it's good for 2 months, that's it?
No, it built the potholes. What you see coming off is the stuff on the sides.
Oh, that is-
Potholes are built.
No, okay, go there and check it out. I can take a picture.
I can.
Okay, can you go there tomorrow and see me there?
I've been there a couple nights ago.
Okay, can we be there tomorrow and check it out?
No,
Because I think it's a waste of the money.
that's your opinion. You're welcome to.
Okay. Okay. So can we meet there tomorrow? And you gonna explain to me why you?
Up there. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's how I took care of it right there, until we can get to do something.
So the work you did from the 28th to Woodland Valley, so that's the same thing?
No, that was a full pavement.
Okay, so when that was approved?
Main Street even higher than it is now, which is too high, so it needs to be built.
Okay,
In
so,
order to build, again, stop interrupting. In order to build Main Street, you have to have curbs, something we work on. There's no sidewalks, there's no curbs. The whole town needs to be rebuilt. You know this.
yeah, for 14 years.
Yeah.
So is there any, that's the next question for you. Is it in a plan?
There is a plan, but it isn't together yet. I need to speak with CWC, with Eric. We need to coordinate with CWC, find out if we're approved for a grant and move forward from there.
What happened was that stormwater project, because there was no place to put the infrastructure, died. So now that piece of property burned, or replaced for the infrastructure, so now the project comes back in.
So where the
Now we
water,
have to reapply and put everything back with that being part of the project, which makes the whole project work.
And the
Okay,
part,
so
That building burning down, believe it or not, is key to this project.
so where the water, storm water goes now?
Yeah, it goes there where it's been going for how long as Pine was, but 150, 200 years.
So that's mean that it's not big deal to fix the Main Street, you know, to pave it, just to pave
it's
it.
compounding
Well-
interest, Joe.
Well, the Main Street in this project with the stormwater retrofit, Main Street and the sidewalks will get ripped up and storm drains will be put in there. A new street will be laid, as will new curbs. It will finish down at the bottom, probably right where that building is sitting in pieces. That will be torn up and a catchment will be built there for all the stormwater. So that's the ultimate goal.
How long it's gonna take? So do you have the money for that for next 2 years when, you know, you're sitting in this office, or?
This is what we're doing, we're going back through the whole process now. Now, you're not listening to what I'm saying. Now we have a place to put the infrastructure, which we did not before, which made the whole process.
So that's when you own that property now?
No.
You have to purchase it. We have to get
Oh,
the money
oh.
to purchase it.
Oh, okay.
The problem is, you see, again, you think, if the property owner cleans it up, he doesn't have to deal with asbestos and lead, and they can clean their own property. If the town touches it, we're held to a completely different standard. So this has to be done in the proper way, not just rushing, because you want it done. There's a plenty of buildings
Yeah,
around.
I think it's a 14 years, 14 years that Main Street's not done.
Joe.
We're talking about the building that burned down.
Joe, you know I lived in Pine Hill for a long time.
Right.
I'm as aware of how Main Street looks as you are. The fact of the matter is, it can't all just happen at once. You can't rip it up because if we need sidewalks, they have to be ADA compliant. We're gonna lose a considerable amount of Main Street. That's why we applied for the parking study grant before we did anything else. Unfortunately, they got kicked back, so now we're back at square one. But with having this building to deal with the stormwater runoff and maybe the CWC helping us out with grant monies, this board will try to get something done. I think we can all promise that.
Okay.
I've been trying to do this for 12 years, 13 years. Peter was
Yeah.
here.
Yep.
when I first
Yeah,
started.
that's what I mean, you know.
Started this project.
If nothing's been done for 13 years, you know.
Welcome to working in government. This is the way government works. You want to do stuff.
Oh,
If you don't
you
have
mean
millions-
doesn't work?
Exactly. You got it. If you don't have millions of dollars in your pocket to spend on a budget, you can't do it.
Thank you, thank you.
You can't do it. My paving budget's $250,000 a year, for all the entire 62 miles of path. It would cost me more to redo that Main Street than the whole.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
No, you can't just pave it, you have to mill it.
Is that talking to the resident? Is that Bill?
So Miller,
What's his
I don't care, I'm just saying the entire
14
town's
years.
budget on Main Street right now. That's fair to everybody else too.
I heard Kevin speak up, and I know Peter did, but I didn't recognize that up front.
Elizabeth wants to know the person's name that's speaking.
Joe, sir,
Joe, sir?
Thank you.
Yep.
thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. And all of this, we are waiting because to just put, like you said, waste money on fixing potholes, which are just little short fixes, we're waiting to do this project correctly. And it could be, I mean, it doesn't look like it, but we may end up better because of the wait. I mean, it should have happened years ago, but one circumstance or the other kept us held back. but this could work out very well in the next year.
And you gotta remember, a lot of this stuff is already done to us. A lot of design, a lot of engineering, all the surveying, all that work doesn't have to be done, it's all done. It's a matter of just placing the new infrastructure at the lower area and making the whole thing come together. And it's gonna cost $2 million.
So that's mean if the town doesn't get that property,
Then we start over. Then
We-
we're just mill it, leave it, let the water run down Main Street, and let everybody bitch about the flood.
Don't say such things.
so there is no plan B. Without that property, it's not being done.
Don't say such things.
Now, the infrastructure, the stormwater infrastructure can't be done without that.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
John?
John McLaughly from Big Indian. Congratulations on your election. We wish you much success. My issue, one of my issues, is the corner of Big Indian and Olivia Road and Route 28, our junkyard. We've been trying to get this straightened out for years. There's always an excuse of why it can't be done, why it can't be done, why it can't be done. I don't expect an answer tonight, but I would really, a lot of people up there would really appreciate if this issue was addressed and corrected. We're supposed to be a scenic byway. In fact, the scenic byway sign is directly in front of the junkyard. Seriously?
I can only say one thing. The issue was sent to Woodstock, and now it's been sent back to Shandaken. We're just waiting in the courts.
Each time it goes to the court, of course, the last 2 years has been COVID, but COVID can't be an excuse for not doing anything.
Not for
It
anything.
just can't be.
I know.
You know, it's the code enforcement officer that we've been through several of them now, and still nothing happens. But as far as I understand, the code enforcement officer works for you guys.
Yep.
You guys give him his marching orders.
We do.
Or her
We-
the marching orders.
We
So we hope-
make strong suggestions.
We hope. I mean, it's, you know, as far as I know, it's illegal in town to have a junkyard like this.
It certainly is.
Okay, so and we all know whose it is. He's my chief, my fire chief.
Yep.
We all love him. That doesn't help us.
No.
So we hope you guys can move things along a little bit quicker than it's been. Thank you.
We will try. If there's nothing else, I'd like to adjourn the meeting in memory of T.J. Turgeon, Carol Berrien, Eddie Ennis, and Ray Kurt. I'd like a moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. I make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a happy New Year.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Good night.
Thank you, everyone.